Hey coaches, I believe we're live, and I want to start by just welcoming all of you new guys into this group. We're so happy to have you here, and I really want you to understand that you can go further back up in the top in the pin post and pin trainings, or just run through the feed in this group, because you'll find there will be a lot of trainings for you. So warm welcome. In this training, we are going to go through how to make sure that you deliver better trainings for your participants in your group trainings, and that you do it in an easier way. So you need to prepare less. So I want you to save some time. The thing is, what we've been talking a lot to our clients about is that they see that it's quite time consuming doing all the new trainings. I had a client the other day who was doing new trainings every week for her group, and it was so time consuming to make sure they got the value, they got everything they needed, and it becomes overwhelming. If you want, by the way, I got the complete workbook here. If you want the workbook, just write workbook in the chat. We'll make sure the team will send it to you so you can work with this. If you watch this on replay, do write #replay. And welcome for all of you who are here live. I'm happy to have you here. So we want to be less overwhelmed when we prepare for our trainings. And the thing is, another problem I've heard about and I know about is that the clients are not attending. When you start a group program and you prepare and you put down hours and hours and hours into your trainings to prepare, and people don't show up. They don't come. And I know the frustration, because if they don't turn up, if they don't do the work, you're not going to be able to help them. So you really do want them to be there to make sure that you can actually help them. So the third thing is, if people do not show up, if they do not implement the trainings you do, they will not get the results. And if they do not see the results, if they do not feel the value, they will churn. They'll opt out of your program. So we want to avoid all of these things by making sure that we are doing trainings, making trainings that will be more valuable, but less time consuming. So when we look at the group training delivery matrix, as we have here, one thing is, where are you putting down your effort? How much effort do you put down to deliver your trainings, to prepare for your trainings, your training sessions? That's one thing, but that might not be equal to the experience your clients have, the experience they have on the other side. And if you are right now gonna audit yourself, and I just want you to check in, how is it today? Because how is your preparations for your meetings today? Is it so that you are putting in, where would you rate yourself? Are you putting in a lot of effort, but you don't really see that the client experience is that high? Is the client experience high without you putting in any effort, or you somewhere in between? Where would you say right now, if you were going to rate yourself, between 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on this scale, where would you rate yourself today? How can you see, where are you today? Are you putting a lot of effort? Do you get the experience out of the other way? You see, one thing is your input, the other thing is the client's output of your trainings. Please do comment. I want these trainings to be live so I can actually see what you're doing. I'm going to come back if you watch this on replay and comment afterwards. I'm coming back. I want this to be valuable for you. So please, how is this? Is this, where are you on the scale? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. A lot of effort, little effort. How's the client experience? Do they have a good time? Do they understand the training? Do they think it's valuable? How's the experience in total for your clients? Because we can either go to, it will be waste of time, the feeling of wasting time. That's what we have here. If you put in a whole lot of effort and no one really cares on the other side, they don't see the value of it, it's just wasting your time. On the other side, can you imagine putting in very little effort in doing your trainings and the client experience would be on top? This is the feeling, the sensation. How would you say this? It's like the question, where did time go? Like time spent well, right? That's what we have here. Because we want our clients to get the results, right? So time spent well on this side. So where are you right now in your trainings? And then we come to understanding that the way we make things easier is understanding what kind of trainings is it you're doing. If you're running group programs, you're probably also running different kind of trainings. So we want to make different frameworks for different kind of trainings to make sure that it's easy for us to always prepare and we are not missing out. So let's say one of the kind of trainings that you probably have, we call them our roadmap trainings. What is a roadmap training? Well, we have for our clients, we have a clear roadmap of everything they need to go through when they enter the program to when they exit on the other side, when they graduate. There's a process coming in this side and going out on the other side. There's a process this way through. And we have a roadmap to make sure that they get through the right steps at the right time. So they need this training, then they need this training, then they need this training. So that's the roadmap. That's just a complete guide on what trainings do they need and in what order. So that would be the actual training, giving away the things you want to give away to your clients. So the actual trainings, that's one kind of training sessions you probably run. Then we have another set of trainings. Those we call just clear coaching. That is when we have an open meeting for either for helping or just for Q&A. That's the process for our clients to come on a meeting and get some help. So we already gave them the training. Now they're coming back to another meeting. If they have any questions, if they're stuck somewhere, they can now ask the questions and we make sure that they understand it and they can move forward. That's that kind of sessions. Then we have some kind of sessions. We have another third kind of sessions. Those kind of sessions is the recurring. What is the recurring? It can be different. The recurring time, like kind of training is, in our case, what we do with our top 1% coaches is we work with them in slots of 8 weeks. So every 8 weeks, we stop up, we go in and we make sure, how did it the last 8 weeks? So how did they go? Did I reach my goal? What did I learn? What did I get out of that? Did I get ready with the projects I was working on? And then we set up a new ton of goals for the next, like revenue goal, how many clients, how to get the clients, and what projects do I want to work on in my business for the next 8 weeks. So I'm sure that I'm progressing from where I am, the level and the plateau I'm on right now, to the next plateau in my business. So we make sure we have that. So that's the kind of recurring training we do every 8th week. And that has a little bit of another setup, but it's still something that keeps coming back, the exact same training, because it's the same things we need to go through. Because I want you to really understand, when you run a group program, it's not about adding more and more and more and more necessarily. It's about making sure that the things you add, that they get implemented. So we really want to make sure we're not just overwhelming our clients, because that is a thing I see due to the fact that if you as a coach are not completely confident in that they got what they need, and you are afraid it's not valuable enough, you will keep adding. And sometimes the thing we really need to do is just take out some things and then go back to repetition. Repetition is the mother of everything, right? The repetition is the mother of all skills. We need to make sure we keep coming back and do the same things again and again, because we need to hear the same thing over and over again, right? I hope this makes sense. If this makes sense, please just write sense. I want you to really understand you do not need to just add. You need to find out what is it exactly they need, and how do I make sure I keep repeating that, but from different angles, so I make sure they actually get the result. So we have the recurring. The fourth part of a training, I'm calling them the misfits. If they do not fit into anything else, we'll put them here. Our misfits. So we understand that we have different kind of trainings. And in a second, I'm going to let you understand how come this is so damn important you have this kind of trainings. Because if you only do one thing and you do the same thing over and over and over and over again, the problem is you're probably going to have less and less people attending. So when we look at this, we want to have different frameworks. Each kind of training, we have a set of frameworks, because that makes it easy for us to prepare. It makes it possible for us to prepare in no time. So when we do the roadmap, the training, when we do the trainings that we actually want to implement to our clients, that is where we use the format formula. And that is the why, what, how, and if. So this is the first one. In the coaching, the help formula, or the Q&A sessions we have with our clients, we use another formula. We have a progress formula. So it's another thing. We actually do the same for this kind. And the misfits are different, because if you don't know what it is, we will see what will this training, what kind of format would this one fit into. So when we do this, the next part is understanding what is it we need to give to our clients to give away good training sessions that is actually valuable, that is actually applicable, and that is actually fun to be a part of or giving to experience. We need to make sure we hit some different things. So we're going to go through how we're going to do that. And if you look into your trainings today, I'm going to give you 4 questions to just look into. How well are you actually fulfilling these 4 parts? The first thing is, if you look at how good are you at making sure that you are giving them the training that they need to focus on right now. The actual training, what the thing is that they need to implement right now, the focus right now for them. That's a clear training. Then the next thing is, how well do you focus on that they actually learning? Not just that you're giving away, but they are actually learning. They actually take it in. So how well do you focus on that? Then we have the third part. The third part is looking at people in groups. We need to have the collaboration. And then the fourth part is we also need the socialization. So we have 4 parts. And if you look at this right now and you are going to audit yourself, I want you to just check in. How is it for you right now in your delivery, in your trainings? Are you good at delivering what they need right now? Or would you say, I might not be on top of, like, spot on what it is they need right now? So be focusing on the wrong things at the wrong time, or maybe the right things but the wrong time. Are they really understanding? Do they learn? Do they get what they need to learn? Is that one thing? And then you can look at how good are you in your group training sessions at making sure that your group participants actually work with collaborations. And how good are you making sure that you have the socialization within your trainings. Because people want to have the training they come from, but when it's in a group setting, a huge part is the community, the feeling. How do I feel when I'm on the meetings? That's another part. So we want to make sure that we hit all 4 parts in the training. And then I want to move forward to the group. Actually, I want you to check in with me. I'm curious, which ones of these ones can you see right now that you are really good at? Where do you see, I'm really good focusing on right now. I'm really good at giving away the teaching they need so they understand it. I'm really good at making sure that they collaborate in my group programs. I'm really good at the social part, making my community work. So where are you really good right now? Where's your opportunity to grow? And then we go to this. So the format formula, how do we give away a training the same way every time, but make sure that we hit everyone in the room? See, people are different. Since people are different, there's some people who are in the room who are the people who need to understand, why do I need to understand this? Because if they do not understand why this is important to them, they will not listen. It doesn't make any sense. They're not listening if they don't understand from the beginning, why is this important for you to understand and why is this important for you to implement? They're just zooming out. You will see them in the screen, like starting looking away and doing some other things, taking the phone, because it's just, they don't see the relevancy. So that's a part of your people. There's a lot. I believe, I don't have the numbers. I should have the numbers in front of me, but I believe it's actually about 30%, but maybe 37% of the people. See, if you do not let them understand in the beginning of your training why they need this training, you will have a huge part of your participants not listening. So that's so important that we need to always start with the why. Why is this important? And then we need to talk to the right side of the brain. We need to talk to the left side of the brain. So we are connecting with the room, we are connecting with everyone, and we are making sure that they understand why they are attending. We are checking in with everyone. So that's the why part. Then we go to the what part. When we cover that, we go to the what. So the what is the actual training. That's what I'm doing. I'm in the what right now on this training. I hope you see this training I'm doing for you right here is what we are talking about, right? So this is the what part. In the what part is where I give away a model. Why do we use models? Because models makes it easier for the brain. The brain doesn't understand if you just put this model on again. If you just put up a lot of PowerPoints with a lot of text, the brain is just gonna like focus on everything else. To make it easy for the brain to work and take in information, you want to have a model, you want models, you want numbers, not a lot of text, because that's not helpful to anyone. So that's why we use, when we do the teaching, we do the what, we use a model and we inform about the training. We give away the actual, what is this about? How do you do this? So we need to do the what. And again, we have a large number of people, if they do not get the what, they are lost. They will not be able to implement it because they did not understand the what. They didn't understand it. They needed that model. They needed to understand it, because otherwise they are not going to implement it. And you're going to lose them if they're not implementing it, because it's not making sense. It's not valuable for them. And for everyone who's jumping in, who's new on live here, please also, if you want to have the complete worksheet, workbook for this, just write workbook and we'll send it to you so you can work with this. So we go to the next part. Once we have the what, we go to the how. What is the how all about? The how is all about making sure that we implement, we make things happen, we make it relevant for them. It's not just something that is out here in the world, it's something that is inside of them. How do we do that? We practice, we put it in. So we give them See, what I do with on everything on my trainings is I actually give them, go through the model, I give them what to do. Now I give them time to sit down and actually do it on the training. Sit down, do it now. So they can do it while they're working with it. So that's what we do in the how, because again, a large amount of people are how people. They need to write it down, because listening to things is not enough. They need to write it down and make it theirs, their own thing. Otherwise, it won't stick to them. So we need to put it into the how. And then when we're done with the how, we need the if. So what is the if part? The if part is the part where we can actually make sure that it says refine and perform. What is it really? It's actually as easy as, that is the time of the training where you ask any questions. Do I have anyone who have any questions regarding this, about this? Any questions? And please, if you have any questions on this, write it in the comment. Write it in the comment so I can give you the help, so I can answer you. It's also the time where I can actually ask you to share. Hey, you have any share? What did you see? What did you experience? What did you find out during this exercise? Does anyone want to share? Because, yes, you probably guessed it. You have a large amount of people who are if people. And the if people, they will sit, either they will have the need of just saying it out loud, what happened in them, because while they do that, it actually falls in place in them. It actually like locks down within them. But you also have those people who done the work, they listened, they did the work, but they are not completely certain, did I do it right? Did I do it right? Did I see this right? Did I understand this right? Could I do like this? And if they don't get the chance to ask you the question about that and get a reply on it, of course, if they don't do that, they will put it in on their table after the meeting, and they'll not go back to it. They will not really do it in their life because they are not completely certain that they did right, they understood, and all of this. Does this make sense? Please write sense if this makes sense. So different people have different needs when they're on a training session. Some people need to understand, why do I need this? Some people need the most, I just need to have the trainings. That's what we call the more blue people. They really want, the same people who really love to like read the books and stuff. And then you have the more visual people who don't want to read it. They just need to see the model, right? They just need to see the model. So we have different kinds of people. We need to attend all of them. When we have a group, we need to make sure everyone gets on it. Then we go to the how, and that's the group of people who really need to implement it right now. Make it their own. And then we go to the if people. And I'm curious, if you just take a look at yourself, what of these four parts, the why, the how, what, the how, or the if, which one of these four things would you actually see that you are? Which one makes the most sense? Without this one, it won't work for me on a meeting. I won't understand the training. I won't implement it. So please share it. I want to know, who are you? Are you a how, what, a why, how, what, how, or an if? Once we do this, see, now we come to the easy part. Now we come to the trick. It's like easy peasy. So how do we do this? Whenever we want to work on building any trainings, we just use the group training builder. We just use it to make sure I am set up. And literally, when we started doing like this, we went from spending hours on building our group trainings to now we can build a group training in 5 minutes. And how do I know? I actually did this with my clients. I had my clients to build their next group training in just 5 minutes, and everyone can do it because we have a clear framework on how to make sure that we get through the complete training, take care of all people in the room, and make sure that the lesson we want to give away really gets out of there. So we want to make sure we have the things that belongs in why, the things that belongs in what, the things that belongs in how, and the things that belong in if. And when we have this, it's easy easy for us to just produce group programs in no time, and you make sure that your clients get so much more value out of it. And now it's one thing is group trainings. You do exactly the same every time you have a workshop, a webinar, when you do challenges, when you have group events, when you do the sales events. You still need to use these all the time. So if you want the complete workbook, just ask for it. I will also explain how we build up the trainings in this worksheet, so you can get it from there. Just write workbook and the team will send it to you. So guys, I really hope that this has been valuable for you. Please do write value if this has been valuable. And if you have any questions, please do ask the questions. So we are here to help you to make sure you get better success in your coaching business. So please do write if you have any question on this training. And I will see you soon on another training in this group. See you guys. If I can find the button, that is. Take care.